Yo, what up, you guys? Yo, today I just had this insane realization, man. Yo, I think I figured out why our generation, why Gen Z is so unhappy. I think I understand why we're so depressed and why we don't seem to enjoy our lives the way that we enjoy our lives the way we want to. And yo, as simple as it sounds, yo, it really is that phone. It literally is that phone, bro. Most people are gonna be like, people are lonely, this and that, the other, this, that, third. Yeah, people are lonely, but why do you think people are lonely? What causes people to truly be alone, right? And I say it's the phone because of my experience, right? For a couple days, right, I've deleted Instagram. I've gave myself a challenge in my life to lower the amount of stimulation I get each day, to give my brain a chance to rest from comparison, because you know how comparison is a thief of joy, right? People always say that my entire life. And so I wanted to give myself a break of constant stimuli, being on my phone all the time, getting instant gratification, scrolling, watching a bunch of shorts, especially watching IG. You get a lot of stimulation. You see the bad chicks that you want. If that's only if you don't got a girlfriend, you don't really get girls like that. Or, some things like that. But for me, right, a lot of things ain't been happening the way I wanted it to happen. So me scrolling on Instagram, it doesn't really do me any good. Ain't no point. I feel like right now at this time of my life, I'm wasting my time. It's better for me to focus on the things that I want to accomplish and the things that is going to elevate me to a higher level. And being on Instagram and just getting instant gratification, no. But that's besides the point. And see, most of us in our generation, right, we're the way we communicate is on social media. We use Instagram. A lot of people don't even have to. If you look at your friend group, right? Do all of you guys have your friends' phone numbers, your homies' phone numbers? Let's be real. Most of us don't have our homies' phone numbers no more. We all talk to each other. Most of the time, we talk to each other, call each other. Most of our communication is through Instagram. And what do you think that leads, bro? What do you think that leads to? Most of us, especially me, most of the people from my school, we talk to each other from the gram. And then you're seeing all your homies, not even just your homies, people you follow. Because a lot of people you follow, your follow count, a lot of the people in your follow count, they're not your homies. But you're seeing their life. You're seeing what they post. You're seeing what they complain about. You're seeing what they think. And you're seeing a bunch of different opinions of people that you don't even want to see. You don't care about. Like who the fuck cares about what fucking that random Isaiah what is thinking? What's going on in his life? And I know that sounds like some asshole shit, but what if this Isaiah guy's not your homie? You don't even know him. You don't even talk to him, but you follow him because you know him from school, and you want to follow people you know from school. But you see him posting on his notes, crying about his ex, crying about uh, certain things happening in his life. But no disrespect, but you don't know or care. And there's a bunch of people on the gram that you're seeing their stories and the things that's going on in their lives, and you don't know or care. And at the same time, all these people, you get energy from it. All these things. If you're a human, right? Most of us, we have empathy, right? And you're absorbing all of that information constantly of seeing people, seeing what they're doing, seeing what they got going on. You absorb all of that. And to be a human and to get all that information all the time, that's a bit much. And I needed to take a break of that. That was a lot for me. It's better to just take breaks of. But getting back to my point about depression, and the reason why I believe that we're so depressed is because we're taught to distance ourselves from each other. When you're on Instagram, you're seeing all the highlights of the people's lives. And plus, most people, we don't even go outside no more. Or if we do, there's not a whole lot. So our main source of communication, finding other people or seeing people, is through the internet. And what do you think that does to a person? If you don't go outside, you don't go meeting people. A lot of people meet their girls on social media, on Instagram. And I know for a fact I'm terrible at texting. I'm terrible. I gotta admit, I don't know how to do all these crazy emojis, and I don't know how to text a girl on Instagram. That's weird to me. It's easier for me to see someone in public and talk to them. But right now, I guess the problem I could say I have is a lot of these girls, they act, especially being a guy who doesn't go to school anymore. I don't want to come off as creepy. I don't want to approach a girl and she's in front of me and her back is turned towards me, and I just say, "Hey, I want to get to know you. You're bad as hell. You're so pretty." I don't want to do all that, bro. I don't want my game to be like that. I don't even want to do it like that. I'd rather just meet them somewhere. Like, where do people go to actually have fun and meet people at nowadays? When there's social media, like, where do people go? I don't know where people go. I'm not exactly crazy, like, out there like that. So I don't know what kind of parties be going on. Social media is good if you're very social. You know how to really get around people, and you know how to really join functions. That's just something I've never been good at. That's just something that I've been social. I'm way more social than I have ever been in my entire life. I'll say that. But I never got to the point where I'm really out there like that. And yes, I can't lie. I do want to get that out. I do want to get out there. I want to be out there. That's something I want to do. That is something I want to do in my life. I want to be out there. But one of the most exhausting things is to be outside, go to a normal store, and you talk to the cashier, right? I remember back in 2016, that was like 10 years ago now. I would see my parents, we would go to the store, and there was a whole lot more cashiers, a whole lot more things going on. And my mom, my parents, we would actually have full-blown conversations with the cashiers like it was a normal day. They would actually talk. It just seemed like things were alive. And now you go to the nearest Walmart, and the cashiers look like they have no energy. Everyone just seems like they don't want to, their social batteries at zero all the time. It makes me not even want to go up and talk to girls now. It makes me not even want to do that. And maybe I got to bring in the energy. I know some people's going to be in the comments like, "Yo, you got to set the tone. You got to be the one to set the tone." You know what, bro? You might be right. I might have to set the tone. But everything seems like you got to do a lot more work than you used to have to do. I know how my parents met. It was a lot easier, right? it wasn't as, I just think back in the day, it wasn't so social media and people actually met people in person and we actually genuinely had to have conversations. Nowadays, I don't mean to sound like I'm having a victim mentality, but things just seem like you just gotta try a lot harder or be a lot more out there, or certain opportunities just won't happen. Like I feel like I gotta really push myself, or this can get like super lonely. This can get super depressing. Because the vast majority of people you see, right? I could try to head nod and be like, yo, what up? Some people be looking all spaced out, like I didn't just say what's up to them. Or it's like people are just weird now. They're like almost like robots. And I gotta really bring in like a lot more charisma if I don't want to be lonely. And you know, some people just be like, some people, I know a lot of people are gonna say like, well, we're adults now. We're not supposed to be making friends with everyone. And I get it. I get it. But are you telling me that we're supposed to just live very, this just seems depressing. Are we just supposed to not talk to the people we see in public? I just think it's general courtesy to say what's up to somebody you see around. Have a little conversation here and there. I'm not looking for a friend all the time. But damn, it would sure be nice. The day would sure feel alive if you can have, if people were actually more responsive or uh more more what's the word, more approachable, way more approachable. And that's one of my biggest things with these girls is that a lot of them don't be looking approachable. I don't want to approach a girl who looks like she's having a terrible day. I don't always, are you telling me I got to be the guy who has the energy to make her day better? I don't feel like doing all that. Like, damn. It's like most people I see kind of walk around with this frown on their face, this anger, this distaste for the world. And that's not the type of energy that I want to be around all the time. It's like as people get older, they feel like they don't owe nobody anything. It's like it's a lot just as it's a lot for something just as simple as a simple hello, a simple what's up, how are you doing, how's your day. That's a lot now. Doing that is a lot now. That's a lot of effort. Why? Why does that take so much effort? Why is that so hard? You can't just say what's up. I just graduated high school a couple actually I'm about to graduate in like a couple days, but I'm already going outside, going to stores and seeing the world now. And it's not like high school. If you don't talk to nobody, you're literally gonna have no friends, no girls, nothing. This is the real world we live in now. Genuinely. Like, the world that people say on social media really is how the world is, at least in my experience. If you don't get out there, if you don't get out there and really push yourself, really try to experience new things and try to be a part of the world, it ain't coming to you, bro. It's not. You're either gonna live a very depressed life or you're gonna have to genuinely go after a exciting life. Because me, I know I'm a people's person. I like people. I want to talk to people. I want friends. I want relationships. I want to be outside. I don't want to be in my house scrolling, playing video games all day. And yes, I like playing video games, but it's getting to a point where I need to really get out there. I need to be outside. I want to see people. I want to play at the park. I want to hoop. Yo, I want to hoop with people, bro. I'm not saying I don't have friends, right? But damn, The school I went to, most of these people I went to school with, I probably call friends. I'm not really friends with them like that. I went to a very ghetto school where these girls were so ghetto as hell. They was never even attracted to a guy like me. I stood out like a sore thumb. Those guys, everybody thought they was, you know, the niggas, they thought they was cooler than me. The YNs thought they was better than me. I'm just not a part of that kind of culture, and that's been a part that's been my biggest disconnect. And now I feel like I gotta make up for a lot of these things, because I never dated girls. I didn't really date a lot of girls in my school because the girls are not really. Everybody's part of that YN culture. I'm not part of that YN culture like that. They always considered me too nerdy or too normal. I just never fit with that crowd of people. And now I graduated and I never dated nobody. And that's the biggest thing that's been my biggest problem. You know, and now I feel like I gotta make up for that. But now we live into a society where everything is either you talk to somebody on the gram or you almost talk to nobody, because unless you want to say fuck that and you want to really truly be social, you really want to get out of your shell, and that's something I know I got to do. I got to get out of my shell. I'm naturally introverted. I got to admit that I'm naturally introverted. Going up and approaching girls is it ain't the easiest thing in the world. I'm not the smoothest guy, bro. I know there's some dudes who is effortless to them. They're smooth. They know what to say. They know when to say it. They know how to really do it. They know how to really charm. It's like, it seems like you got to really have these skill sets or you're not going to survive. Literally. And these skills, I don't have a lot of these skill sets. Because I don't have experience the way I wanted to have experience. Because I just think a lot of the girls who went to my school, you know, all of them was with the YN culture. So they was not looking at me. They was looking at the nigga with tats and fucking chain around his neck. And that's been that's always been the hardest thing. Now, gotta get out of that. Honestly though, if I'm really being real though, I think the real reason why people are truly depressed is because they're overstimulated, right? We're on our phones 24/7. We don't really truly understand what it's like to sit there and really do nothing. Well, I'm not gonna say just nothing at all, but do something as mundane as reading a book. If you can't read a book, your brain is so fried you can't read a book, then how are you going to truly enjoy nature? How are you going to truly enjoy the essence of life? You can't. You ain't. You ain't going to enjoy shit. If your brain is so fried that you're only chasing the highest high, then what's going to happen when you're not getting the highest high? It's going to be a void, bro. It's going to be a void. You're going to feel like shit. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel happy. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel like you hit a wall. That's how bad it is when you feel like you got hit by a void. That's really how terrible it is. It doesn't feel good at all. It feels like shit, right? I believe if all of us can learn how to detoxify our brains or de-rodify, I said de-rodify, but if we can learn how to stabilize our minds and take control of our minds, this world will be a much, much, much happier place to live in. And the truth is, the people who have, you know how people say this world has lost its spark? We lost our spark. When everything became convenient, for us, it became easy for us. We got DoorDash, we got freaking elevators, we got all these things that made our lives easier. We even got deliveries where Yeah, Amazon included. All these things that made our lives easier has completely taken away our excitement for life, because if you don't have any struggle in your life, everything is kind of easy for you to do. You can get you can get your food, you can get food instantly from a click of a button. You can get packages, clothes and stuff like that, shoes, all the things you need from a click of a button, and you don't got to get outside and really put in the effort. It's going to be nearly impossible to truly find any sort of happiness in this world. You're not. And I believe happiness comes from a sort of struggle. If things are handed to you, if things are easily, everything is handed to you. Basically, what I'm saying is, I can't speak clearly. I don't know why. But if everything is handed to you on a silver platter, how are you gonna be capable of cultivating, I'm saying big words on purpose, cultivating true happiness, right? You're not. If you think you're gonna be happy from Ubering to the near, actually not Ubering, I'm gonna say, yeah, Ubering food, DoorDashing food to your doorstep from a click of a button, ordering packages from a click of a button, just because you feel like it. But you don't gotta walk and take the effort to truly get what you want to get. How would you be happy? You can't. You can't be happy. I believe happiness and true excitement is earned. If you're getting rewarded from lack of effort, if you get rewarded from barely doing anything, happiness is nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. It can't happen. You're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be stuck, man. You know what? I appreciate these videos though. It's it's helping me. It's helping me fully get out what I've been trying to get out these past couple of months. Because I feel like I've been holding in this tension, this fear of speaking my mind to its full capacity. I guess I created this fear because I was different. You know, when you're different and you think outside the box, you think different from a lot of people, it could either make you or it could break you. And I let it fucking break me. Actually, I ain't let it break me. I let it basically cut off my balls, bro. Basically, lost all my confidence. I started trying to be like a YN. But I guess I'll talk about that later, bro. But I think if true happiness, the only way for anyone to be truly happy, I don't believe happiness is a true thing. I don't believe in real happiness, but I believe in true satisfaction for life. You have to earn the things that you achieve. If things can't be so easy, your life has to be a little bit more challenging, a little bit harder. And that's the only way for you to achieve any of the things that you want to achieve in your life. It must be a little bit harder. Harder. Okay, well, I'll see y'all boys though. I need to talk about some shit. I didn't think this was gonna be a long video, but I guess I had some shit I had to get out my chest, man. But I'll see y'all boys.